Hello there. This is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex, and we're here for today's Hobbyplex Show podcast. As you can see, Will's not with us yet. He just texted me a little bit that he is on his way home, and so I'm like, well, maybe we'll just get going, and that'll give time for people to get on here, and we can make it happen. So if you're coming on and you get in the chat, maybe we can go back and forth a little bit. I don't know, but yeah. So here we are. This show, might as well get this out of the way. This show is brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com and mention our show to either Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, and you can get yourself a $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate, and it's good stuff. I actually just got, I didn't get my bill today because it's all taken care of, but I did get my monthly statement on my mortgage today. And I realized, holy crap, I'm going to be 70 something years old when this is supposed to be paid off. But that's okay. Right? We had a pretty good week. We did mini racing again on Tuesday, every Tuesday. We don't talk about that a lot on the show, just because it's kind of Tuesdays. But mini racing is pretty popular at the Plex. We've been getting a steady group of guys, which is really fun. And I do think that once it starts to get cold out here in the next couple months, month 7. So, geez, it's almost to month 9, which is September. I got to get on the summer series stuff for you guys. Anyways, I do think that I think mini racing is going to take off again this coming up fall, just because it's easy, it's relatively cheap, and the track layouts have been really fun. Emerson's been doing a good job of creating track layouts that aren't your typical kind of RC car, layout. There's a lot more stuff that he does, like split lanes and different styles of jumps and stuff like that. So there's just a lot more you can do because it's not to be taken epically serious, like we sometimes do. Which might be talked about later on with the show. As soon as Will gets here, I want to talk about the Visions race that Live RC put on. I think even though they had a really low turnout for that, I think it was almost like a really good it was a good show. It wasn't so much about, oh, they got 200 entries this week or that sort of thing. They had the invite class with 15 drivers. I like how they filled the positions left from that with drivers from the open class. I thought that was pretty cool. They handed out some cash. Thought that was pretty rad. So, yeah, we got that going on later on here. Anyways, back to what I was saying. We had a small race on Friday night. It's pretty hot out, so and then Saturday we just kind of had a practice day. We probably could have raced on Saturday. A whole bunch of people showed up late. But by then, decision had already kind of been made to make it more of a laid back kind of practice day. I almost feel like we should do that more often, especially in the summertime.
We have Will.
When it sort of dwindles. I think that there he is.
Hi guys, sorry I'm late.
But I think that doing that sometimes can benefit the racing a little bit if you just have a day where you're not really worried about it and go out there and run. What's up?
Oh, nothing. I was mowing my yard, and then a friend of mine needed some help with a go-kart, and I was like, I'll just go over there. No problem. Lost kind of track of time, and here I am. So.
Well, I was just entering the show, just getting it out of the way. And,
okay. I'm Will Brinton. Sorry about that, team. Sorry, guys.
No, it's all good. I just we don't really have. We didn't race this weekend. You didn't race this weekend.
Yeah. That's what I said. I was like, they didn't race this weekend.
We didn't really. We don't have our normal kind of, I wouldn't say format, but kind of how we do things. I wanted to talk about the stuff that went on nationally this week.
Yeah, me too.
We don't do that very often. And
there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about this week, and I really wanted to get into that. So,
yeah.
I already introduced Pivot Lending as our sponsor for the show. Yep, that's all done, so you don't have to listen to that.
Neat.
And kind of talked about what's going on this week. I didn't mention that I am the OG race director for this Friday and Saturday. So Logan spontaneously decided to go down to the Riot race at Fastlane.
Mm-hmm.
So he needed this upcoming weekend off. So I'm running Friday, running Saturday, and then I think he's got Emerson working for him Saturday. I don't think Emerson was going to work Saturday for some reason. I don't know. So there you go. We also got a brand new computer, Club Race computer.
A new one?
Yeah, I'm really excited to give it a go. One of the
We're
Friday
finally
night...
on Windows XP, huh?
No, it was the old computer was on Windows 10. It actually got better when it was from Windows 8 to Windows 10. All the glitching and all the bad stuff that happened went away when I did that, but the computer's pretty slow. I mean, we've had it since like late 2016.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that was new for the Roar Nats, wasn't it?
No, they don't use our computers for the Roar Nats.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But I might have had it for practice day. I'm sure I had it up.
Yeah.
But either way, it's really slow. I mean, it's slow. It's old and slow.
It's slow. It's old slow.
Anyways, one of our Friday nighters. I don't think it's his dad. I think it's like I don't even know what to call him. Anyways, he works in IT for like a bank, so he got us one of their bank. They have to like recycle their computers all the time. And so he got us one of those, and I hooked it up and transferred all the data and everything, and so far it's really fast.
Yeah,
and it's small.
A ton of RAM,
dude. It's a solid state, so it's this big. It's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's gonna make taking in and out so much easier instead of lugging that big computer around all the time.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I remember having to set up the computer at the old Lincoln track. You had the tower, you had the tube TV monitor. Then you had all the other like 20 serial ports and all kinds of stuff. Then you had to hook the printer up. Pain in the ass. So much easier now.
I remember the dot matrix printers running races back in the day. That noise, that you would do that.
Well, and then because we built that scoring tower, so you had to lug all the big monitor. You had to lug the big tower. I think we had two towers too, like one for something and another to do something else. They were like wired together. You had to lug all that garbage up the stairs from the shack or the driver's stand shed or whatever. Man, what do you got to walk 20 feet? Holding a little baby laptop.
Well, I've designed it that way.
I know.
That's why I put my closet in there, because I knew that I needed to do that. So I try to make it as easy as myself as possible.
Yeah.
The Lincoln outdoor track, I had to not only like set everything up in that super hot shed driver stand they had with no airflow or nothing, but also I had to run before they put water in there. I had to run the water pump. I had to drive the water pump to the Salt Creek, climb down with a water pump, heavy, right? Down this embankment, hopefully it wasn't flooding that day. Turn it on, throw the thing in there, hope that it sucks. So then I'd have to like reel it back in if it didn't, and I had to throw it out again. It usually took a couple tries. Then I had to run up the embankment, hop on the golf cart, and I would take the hose and I'd wrap it around one of the golf cart metal handle things and just start driving so that it unraveled itself, and then water the track. And then when when you were done, you had to get on the golf cart, drive all the way back, turn the thing off, right?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes there were sketchy people at the creek, so not only you had to turn the thing off, you had to like lug it back up, put it in the golf cart with you, and then take it back when you had to water the track again later on that day. That sucked. That's way better. I mean, that was way worse than what I got now. Now's a cakewalk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. And why did we ever do it? Like, God, we just put ourselves through so much punishment out there. It's like, God, what a thankless job.
Well,
it didn't even pay nothing.
I mean, I was getting paid $6.25 an hour, but
I didn't get paid.
oh.
When I did it, the store and the track were two separate entities.
I also usually kept like $10 of the entry fees to feed myself.
I did that one. I did that one time. I used to put the paid out receipt. Or I put receipts. I'd do a paid out for like $4, and then you'd have Mike Duckowitz. He'd call you like Wednesday when he goes out there to take the money or do the books or something. He'd be like, yeah, there's a receipt in here for like $4 for cheeseburgers. We don't pay for cheeseburgers out here. Well, I'd be like, and we'll have back east, because he was from like Connecticut or something. And you're like, back east, we don't do that. And like,
see, mine was before the club. Like it was, I was the only. It was it. It was me.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing that before the club, so
I did not have that luxury.
Yeah.
We'll pay for your cheeseburgers, Will. I was like, oh.
Well, you should.
You know? Yeah, like I should get something.
Yeah.
Well, you get the race for free. Like, okay, whatever.
Dude, that would honestly piss me off.
Yeah, I was pissed. I don't know.
Like,
Not
are you
pissed.
serious? Like,
it's more just like, God. Then you got no help. Everybody complains.
all that stuff that race directors and race managers and all that store operators put up with. You should be able to buy yourself a cheeseburger.
Yeah, they weren't even like the name brand ones. They're like the dollar menu ones. You know?
Yeah.
Like, God.
Did I ever tell you about the one time we discovered a possum in the golf cart?
No, did I tell you that time I opened up the upstairs driver's stand tower and nobody locked it from the night before, and there's two homeless guys sleeping in there?
Oh no!
Yeah, I was like, huh! like ran out, like just went downstairs. They came out, and they're like, oh yeah, we laid down in your shed there after watching the fireworks last night. And then they were walking away, and one of them dropped like a natural light, like tall boy, just threw it right on the ground and kept walking. It's like the biggest slap in the face ever. Like, God. What?
I was gonna say something, but I don't think I should, because then it'll lead to other things that also have been done at RC tracks.
Yeah, probably.
Probably not a good idea.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the homeless guys, the stuff we went to make that track work out there. That, and then like that one dude that backed over the hydrant. I know who it was, and the guy won't admit it because he was living at the track in his truck. Backed over that hydrant. Did I ever tell you that story?
Mm-mm.
What? I never told you this story? Okay, so you know the hydrant that we had there, like between that scoring tower and between the driver's stand,
yeah.
There's that hydrant right there, and this is the one that you usually use to water the track or the off-road track or the auto track.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, I was going to call him a gentleman, but he's kind of a bastard, and he still races sometimes. He had his pickup out there, and he was parking it between the off-road track and the driver's stand. It's a black, like Blazer, we'll say, SUV of some kind. Parking in between, he's sleeping in his truck out there, or his whatever SUV out at the Lincoln track. Well, then like a week later, somehow the hydrant's bent over, like just bent over, ruined. And I didn't do that. That's what the guy said. And so we had to dig out that damn hydrant. It's 6 feet down.
Yeah.
We dug it out. Jamie and I did. We shut the water off. Well, the water hadn't been turned on yet. It was before the season started. So we go out there. We dig a hole and dig this giant pit. Misery. And like it was clear. We didn't dig it out big enough to really like you couldn't like walk down there or nothing. So Jamie's lowering me down in there by my feet, and I'm filling up a bucket and then coming back up. That's how we dug this hole. And it was just big enough to fit my shoulders in. And so we dig it all out. Well, then we had guys helping because everybody knows a guy that's a plumber and electrician at the Lincoln Lincoln track. So they had a buddy come in. They cut the pipe and with the string, the PVC down at the bottom, and they're getting ready to glue it. Well, I get a phone call. There's a guy there that was gonna buy. I had this HPI drift box, like for a drift car. I got it somehow and I sold it to this guy. So I walked over there, I sold it to the guy, and I come back after of course you sell something, you talk to him for a minute. We visited for a second, and you're like, okay, bye. And I go back over there. They had the hole like already filled in. And I was like, oh, it's done. And they're like, yep. I said, did you test it? Nope. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Well, we come back the next day. Jamie and I would drive across the field in his what do you have, like a Honda Pilot? I know it wasn't a Pilot. It was I can't remember what it was. Some SUV looking thing. We drive across the field and we turn the water on. We come back and we turn it on. It goes, and there's air and then solid stream of water. And we're like, oh, well, it's fixed forever. No big deal. And then we shut it off and we still hear water running. And we're like, oh no. And the ground starts kind of moving around, bubbling up. Like, and Jamie's like, you gotta be kidding me. So we drive back over, shut the water off, and then we like, well, I guess we gotta dig the hole out again because you guys didn't test it before you filled the hole in. So you dig the hole out, and we dug it out big enough that I could stand in there this time, and because we had to cut that damn thing at least 3 or 4 feet back to where it was cracked all the way down. So you cut it and move everything and put more pea gravel in at the bottom, then fill it all back in. And the guy that did it, and I know did it, won't admit to doing it, shows up. He's like, "Oh, you guys got the water fixed. I can't have to help." And I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks for nothing, you big dumb idiot." And then we had water at the hydrant again.
Lame.
So, yeah, for free. I did that.
Yeah.
No. Well, they don't work for free no more. I don't work for free. Unless I like you.
Unless you're helping me out.
Unless I'm helping out.
Yeah.
Then I work for free.
Before we move on, my possum story from out there.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Is it like?
No, we were doing the whole water pump thing in the Salt Creek again, and Jeff Cozine and I were together to do this, and we started to drive, and we're driving, and all of a sudden we're like driving, and all of a sudden, and we're like, what the hell was that? And we stopped, and a possum was sleeping in the golf cart underneath, and it got caught in the wheels, and somehow, or engine or something like that, and it made the whole golf cart like lift up, and it ripped a leg off of this poor possum. And so then I'm like, oh, dude, what are we going to do? I'm
Get the shovel.
We need to go. That's exactly what we did. So Jeff's like, well, we need to put it out of its misery. And I'm like, all right, I guess let's go do that. So he runs back to the shed and he grabs a flat blade shovel and he comes around here and he's like, hands it to me. And I'm like, I ain't doing it. And he's like,
right. You were driving.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I'll do it. So he takes a shovel and he goes, whack, super hard on this thing's head, thinking that would do it. That didn't do it. The possum was just really pissed. The possum just got really mad and was even more like agitated. So it's missing a leg, and now it's been whacked on the head with a shovel, and he whacks it again, and it's still not dead. It's just sitting there, just hissing at us the whole time. And I'm like, oh my God! I'm like, I cannot stand this. I can't watch this or whatever. So I take the shovel and I scoop up the possum, and I go over to Salt Creek, and I have it behind me, and I fling that little shit into the river as hard as I can. So it flies like 30 or 40 feet through the air down this embankment, lands in the middle of the water, and I'm thinking, all right, well, at least it's going to drown or something like that. No, it doesn't drown. This is the possum that won't die. It like, I watched it swim to the other side of the embankment and then just scuttle off.
Have you ever seen Me, Myself, and Irene?
Yeah, I have.
when Jim Carrey's trying to kill that cow he ran
Oh,
into.
yeah.
Just let go. Just let go. Man, that movie is so funny.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies. I saw that movie in the theater with my mom.
That's a very underrated Jim Carrey movie.
She was like, "Oh, Jim Carrey, it'll be fun for the whole family."
Oh, and it's so dark. It's such a dark movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's so funny.
I like when he gets his finger shut off.
His thumb, yeah.
Yeah, his
My
eyes.
favorite.
His eyes are white, like as big as I've ever seen Jim Carrey's eyes in that one.
My favorite part is when he takes that bandage off his chin. He has a butt chin. Remind me after we go off the air and tell me, or just say butt chin, so it reminds me what to tell you. Because I forgot. I have a really funny one, but I don't want to say it on the show. But who's like, what was it? His sons are like, that guy can blow his nose and wipe his ass at the same time.
So
yeah, but
man.
anyway, no, like I was expecting you to be like, you were like driving the golf cart and you like put your hand on the seat and you're like, hey Jeff, let go of my hand. And he's like, I'm not holding your hand. You look over and the possum's sitting there. He's like, you know, like, ah! You like drive off into the creek or something.
That cool. Just tried to kill a wild animal and it didn't work.
I think you got a flat, like sharp shovel that could just cut its head off.
Yeah, that's pretty gruesome. I don't know. Even if I did that, I don't think I would say I did that on the podcast.
I don't know if I could do it.
No way, dude.
I've never killed an
I've been fishing.
before.
I have trouble killing fish. Like
Yeah.
Emerson wants to keep fish, and I'm like, dude, I don't feel like cleaning them, but B, I don't like killing things.
Yeah.
You know? That's all.
Yeah, there's a 3-legged possum in my backyard. He was asking about you.
Oh. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, the dogs got a hold of one last summer. They pulled it out from underneath my trailer in the backyard. I was laughing my ass off. It's so funny.
Possums are so
both the wiener dogs had a hold of it on each end. They're like pulling on it. I'm like laughing. My wife's like, ah! Like freaking out. And I was gonna go out there and put it out of its misery with a hammer. I even got a brick. I had its head sitting on a brick, and my wife's like, have you ever heard of playing possum? I was like, clearly this possum is not playing possum. It's a possum. It's not playing possum. I'm like, all right, okay, have it your way. We'll see if it's playing possum. And I go inside and I'm watching it at the back windows, and that possum had his head on the brick. I was getting go out there and smash it with a hammer or something just really gruesome. Like it's all I had. I don't have a gun. It says like has his head on the thing and he puts his head up and he's like, what the heck was that? And he walks off. Well, I ended up I ran out there. I was like, that little son of a bitch. And I run out there and scoop it up into a garbage can that's empty. And my neighbor's yard was empty. Like nobody's living there, so I just put it in my neighbor's yard, leaned over, and it was gone.
So,
anyway.
To add to my list of cats that I've killed on accident when I was a kid, my when my parents split up and I moved back to Omaha, we brought the dogs with us. So we had a black lab that I had adopted. That was a farm dog.
Mm-hmm.
We had a English bulldog, sweetheart named Dallas. She was the sweetest dog ever. You could do whatever you wanted to her, but she did like to think that she was a black lab after a while, you know, because these two they hung out. Mm-hmm. So we tried to keep this black lab in the backyard because she's way too big and rambunctious, and she wasn't an inside dog. Well, she was inside at the time. She also liked to eat cats. She's not very fond of cats. She would literally attack a cat and like try to kill it. So, my neighbor up the street, who I didn't get along with, I was babysitting a cat at the time for my friend DJ, and named Smokey, nice big furry gray cat, pretty super nice.
Rest in peace.
She had rest in peace. She
Rest
had him
in
she had him in her arms, and she was going to go inside my house, and I said, "Hey, Rachel, don't go inside my house. My dog's in there. It'll tear that cat apart." And she goes, "I don't have to listen to you." And she opened up the door, and sure enough, here comes Jerry, my girl black lab that I named Jerry for some reason, comes running after her, gets this cat, and then my bulldog, English bulldog, not a pit bull, but like an actual English bulldog, that sometimes thought that it was a black lab. I run into the porch, and Alice has got like the head, and the black lab has got the other half, and they're tugging on it, just tugging on this poor cat, and this cat's freaking out. And I'm like, oh my God, and I like start smacking the dog, and I finally get my fingers in there, and I pry open Jerry's mouth, and I push her off. And then bulldogs, I don't know if you know this, but English bulldogs, they lock their jaws when they actually bite something. And I've never seen my dog bite anything other than an RC car. She did run after my LXT one time. Anyways, different story. So I finally get Alice as soon as Jerry releases, Alice releases cat. So this cat goes scurrying into my house, and I turn around and I yell at Rachel, like, I told you this. An hour later, I find this poor cat dead in our closet, like from shock. I felt so bad. It's kind of the same way your dogs had a possum. My dogs did that to a cat. So
your dogs are big dogs, though. These are little wiener dogs.
Add that to my list of cats that I've killed in my lifetime on accident.
Well, you told her. I don't know.
I did tell her.
I don't have to listen to you.
I don't have to listen to you. And then I was like, bitch, I told you. This is your fault. And I actually blamed that on her for the rest of the time that we lived on that block until they moved away.
Yeah.
Every time I'd see her, I called her cat killer. It was awesome. Yeah. My sister could attest that. If my sister was here, I think she'd probably remember that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, this show just took a weird, dark turn.
That's fine. See, our shows that we don't have anything to talk about really are always the best.
Yeah, they are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's talk about the Visions race. Right?
Yeah, I watched most of that one.
I did too. I was keeping up on it. I don't think the turnout in this one matters.
No.
The turnout was low, but I think
the level of competition they had there is what mattered.
Right.
Like they had some really fast guys.
And I'll be interesting to see how the Mav TV thing works when it comes out.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it'll be all about the invite class, as it usually is.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it be? It'll see. Like I've been watching Mav TV lately just to see what that would look like, and they do this show, and I looked it up. I can't remember what it's called, but they do this show where they do like exposés on like weird like I watched what was it, Swamp Buggy Racing the other day. And they like put in all these like little graphics and make a joke out of the whole thing. So hopefully the program's not like that.
Yeah, hopefully it's not like that, because that's usually what we get.
Yeah.
Whenever like there's the local news, or I don't know if you remember this, but the Do It Yourself Network a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I used to watch that dude. He came to the convention one year and was at the
Chris
old
Gianelli?
Lincoln on. Yeah, it's old Lincoln on-road track.
Yeah,
I guess that guy died. He used to do cocaine's like lines of cocaine like a mile long or something, or as long as your arm. I don't know. I guess he
died young. I do know that he died young.
Yeah, I remember asking about him because I remember watching the video that he made it was on like on demand on our cable system for the DIY network.
Yeah, and
I watched all those episodes, and I remember watching the one where he's showing you how to paint a body. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But because he'd do like all kinds of different genres of RC, how to break in an engine. Like it was a kind of a neat show. It was like YouTube before YouTube.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Hopefully it's in the style of like the come drive with us.
Yeah.
I hope it's in that style, because that style is a lot more serious and a lot more.
Well,
underneath.
yeah, I would like to see it presented as like an actual like race, like they would for midget racing or sprint cars or something.
Yeah.
Like and that's what it should be. I hope that's what it ends up being. It would be a disservice to everything that they were working for to make this. Yeah. If it ends up being one of those joke TV shows where they just make fun of it.
I heard nothing but good things about the event, not just the RC event, but like the whole thing as a whole. Because basically before it was set up, so you had to buy this pass along with your entry fees, and it was like per person, I think. But everything I've read, it was for the people that were there, even though they I think they bypassed that for this first year.
Did they?
Yeah, I think
Ah.
so. So it was, but
That's
it was
the way
short.
it
But it
should.
was short notice. It was like 2 weeks before the event. I think they were worried about entries.
That's the way it should be if you're going to be there to race and they're going to sell tickets to have people come in and watch.
Yeah.
If you're part of the the event, you should get a discounted rate, or
It
you should
sounds like
get
next year. I think it was a one of this year only sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that being said, everything that I've read, they said that it was like the coolest thing they've been to because there was all these different things going on all the time, and like the lodge itself had like an awesome pool, and you could turn it into like a family vacation sort of thing.
Yeah, I'd really like to go to that. That would be cool.
I think after this year, if they, I hope they do it again. I mean, you never really know these days.
Yeah.
But
right.
But I hope it turns into an annual thing, and I don't know why it wouldn't. Other than it's almost like this was like a beta test for that.
Yeah.
Get the first one in, tweak it if you need to, and then figure it out for next year. The schedule didn't help either because you had like 4 races going on at the same time. So you had the Dirt Burners Midwest Challenge that was scheduled a long time ago on the same weekend. You had the Roarnats, which I want to talk about a little bit later, going on the same weekend. You had that Big Apple race in like Rome, New York.
Yeah.
That's where Adam Drake went.
So, I mean, really?
Yeah. So you had other stuff going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them to schedule their event because it's going alongside all these other events.
Yeah, it's going
at the same
during
time.
that
So
thing.
it's like, yeah. So it's like, this is the weekend we have to do it.
We have to do it here.
It's nothing personal.
Right. Dude, you know what I saw when they were showing pictures a couple weeks ago of Joey out there with Brandon? They were talking about the race. Behind him was a banner, and it was it said something Off-Road Syndicate. I about lost my shit. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But it was established 2018. Guess when our Off-Road Syndicate was established in 2018.
Yeah.
So the same year, different things. It wasn't an RC thing. It was for real life, like racing, like 1-1 racing.
Yeah.
But that's been the only other time that I've ever seen Syndicate used as like a race points thing.
Yeah.
But it happened to be the same year that I named ours. So it blew my mind. What if the person that came up with that, what if we thought of it cosmically at the same time?
Yeah, maybe.
We both got hit at the same time with, hey, Syndicate sounds cool. Let's look up the definition. Holy crap, that's basically what a point series is. We should call it Syndicate.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, right? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
So the racing was pretty cool. I was trying to keep up with it when I can. I kind of liked how they wrapped everything up on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Instead
that was
of
pretty cool.
letting it go all the way through to Sunday. And then, of course, the racing. They had, I think they did top 3 consecutive for qualifying. And wasn't it heads up?
Yeah.
The whole time?
Yeah, all heads up racing.
And then they bumped some guys up from the open class, which I thought was really neat. It gave a shot for a few people to get some money. Mason Fuller did really good in e-buggy. He won e-buggy. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Caden Fuller and Mason Fuller were both in the invite main. Little Bump was in there. And then Tyler Hooks, who just suddenly is driving a Mugen car.
Yeah.
He bumped up there to the invite. And then that was that. There was 15 cars, and away they went.
Yeah.
So, before we get to what everybody wants us to talk about, or what everybody
How
wants
many viewers do we have right now?
We have 20.
Nice.
Yeah. You got to give super big props to Jared Wiggins.
Oh, yeah, man.
That dude does nothing but race RC cars.
Mm-hmm.
Just work, practice, wrench, practice, wrench, practice, wrench, travel, practice, wrench. I mean, that's just what he's doing.
Mhm.
And the fact that he's gonna get a big highlight on this thing, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope.
I'm glad it was somebody we haven't seen win a big race before.
Yeah, and
You
it
know,
was and it was a techno car.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
But man, what a great job for him. $6,500 altogether. Because he got his A2 win and then the overall. And then I Keenan White was posting about how the coverage was awesome and this is kind of what RC needs to get into that. And I totally agree. I think there's so many storylines that can be done with just what happened in this race, that you got an underdog really for the win. I mean, you could call Jared an underdog. He's
I would consider him an underdog.
If you got Mayfield, Tessman, and Tebow at a race, they're in my opinion and even Lutz, they're the favorites, right? And then you've got everybody else that has a shot to get up there. We've seen these guys fend off people like Mason Fuller, Seth Van Dalen, Tyler Hooks. It's just crazy that it worked out this way for that. So that's one storyline that I hope that they focus on.
Yeah. This reminded me of like a Nitro Reedy race.
Yeah.
Like that level of Nitro event. And I'm sure somebody will end up repeating that on another podcast if they're on it. But that's what it reminded me of. Like that's how I could see this event being like a destination. It's not really a destination race because there isn't a ton to do there other than the event, but it's still alongside another event. It's super cool. Bring the whole family down. But I could see this blowing up into that.
Yeah.
Just for the invite class.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
And then you've got the track itself was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I pictured it being bigger. But
yeah, I thought it was going to be bigger too.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked for being on TV that it was to me it was kind of a simple layout for compared to like a Nitro Challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a big 40-second lap track, and it was easy to follow. Everybody sitting there could kind of tell what was going on and who was racing who. Like it was pretty cool. Like I really liked that size of the track that they decided to go with.
Yeah.
And
then I don't think I was old enough. I don't even think I was born yet. When was the first NASCAR race on major TV? When Ronald Reagan came to it, like Air Force One was coming in as the race was ending, or maybe it was taking off as it was ending. I don't know, something like that. But the first NASCAR race on major television channel had a fight at the end.
Yeah.
Like an all-out Daytona 500, cars wrecked, guys jumping out of their car, fighting.
Nice.
And we didn't quite get that with this, but you got pretty close. I mean, not like punches thrown, but I don't know. The fact that Mayfield kind of touched Tessman a little bit in the way that he did was like, whoa,
Yeah.
But that being said, he did wait till the end of the race. He could have blew him up. He could have blew him up right after this thing happened.
Yeah, but his race is kind of over.
But he waited until the race was all over, and that was that. So for those of you guys that are watching that don't know, basically, there was like a handful of laps left. If at the time Jared was down still pretty far, and they were basically going for the overall win. Mayfield had to win to make it happen. Tessman also had to win to have any sort of shot at the whole thing. And the way the points were working at the time, I think the Jimmy Babcock, the announcer, was was informing the drivers of what was going on. So Mayfield still had a shot at it. And I don't know. From my perspective, you know, it's a bumpy, blown out track, but Mayfield looked like he had made a pass on Ty at that moment.
Dude, if you watch the video, like I wasn't there. Obviously, I wasn't there. If you watch the video, like Ty blew the next corner. He's out in out in the marbles. Ryan's flying in, put his car exactly where he needed to be. Everybody's running that line. He's in the groove, pulling away. Ty pulls throttle and runs into his car. That's what I saw.
Yeah,
climbed up over the left rear wheel and just dumped him. Like it was totally uncalled for. I don't blame Ryan one bit at all.
It was pretty suspect. David Fast and I were watching on my phone as it was happening, and I was like, "Oh my!" Guess they both tumbled.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then Ty just magically lands on his wheels. And I knew Mayfield was either broke or he had flamed out because the announcer, the guy, I think he does like Bigfoot races or something.
Mm-hmm.
What was that guy's name? That was there with Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. He was saying that they both are still going, but I'm like, that's not Ryan's car, dude. That's that was, I think it was Tebow getting lapped right then and there, I believe.
I think you're right,
but either way, I knew something had happened to Ryan at that moment because I didn't see his car come back on, and then you saw him getting taken in with a flame out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't blame Ryan one bit for what he said. I thought he could have said more, honestly, because that's the thing is you got to know who he's talking to, like, you know. And he did I'll let you watch his.
I saw his thing.
I know, but like for the people listening, listen to what he had to say about, you know, he did instead of a race report typed out, he did a race report video, which is cool. And, you know, he kind of stuck the nail on the head after working RMT with those guys at Roar Nats before. It's just the way they are,
dude.
You know,
I keep
you agree
going,
with what I'm saying?
I keep going back to 2017 Roar Nats, and I lost a lot of respect for a lot of people that weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm not totally putting them into that camp. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to be politically correct about this thing. I just because I'm a peon, I know that, so I'm a nobody in this whole thing. But I will say that in 2017, when I was running the Roar race, all the stuff that went down, there's some cars that I will refuse to purchase if these people are on their team.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just one camp. It's multiple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and sometimes, you know.
No, I've said things like that to people in full size racing before, like Ryan did. Don't ever talk to me again. Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's racing. That's nothing compared to full size racing. You know, and you know.
I think from my
I thought Ty got off easy.
I think from my side of this, there's things also that I hopefully, just because that what happened between those two drivers, and I'm sure it's not over. Probably won't be, but I hope what happens there doesn't filter down into the RC culture where people think that that's okay to do at the local track during a club race.
No, it's not okay to do it.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like as a television program and as a top level type thing, you see arguments like that in NASCAR. You see it in, let's face it, you see it in every single form of motorsport. People are either arguing with each other about you hit me, no, I hit you, or whatever, or even bicycle racing. It's a Tour de France. There's arguments between these guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not uncommon, but I just hope that doesn't lead people to think that that's something
That's
okay
not
to do.
that's not something you should just strive. That shouldn't be your first option. The thing is you have to remember that these guys, those two, have been racing with each other for years, and this is something that has finally just blown up. Like it did, it kind of came to a head, and it's just years and years of trying to, going behind people's backs and talking to race officials, trying to get laps docked on other people when they thought everything was okay, that kind of stupid shit. And this is just like, you're racing hard, you're gonna get into each other, but it's like, okay, it happened one time, yeah, happened twice, okay, and then it just keeps happening. It's like, and I've had discussions with people like that, and not like that, but I've told them, like, I've told guys that are track, like, man, I just hate racing with you, like, yeah, or like the other guy comes over, he's like, oh, sorry, I got into you. I was like, I'm sure you're kind of sorry, but you keep doing it. Honestly, I hate racing with you because you always do it. I'm so over it. Like, this is just stupid. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, I just assume I'm going to get taken out and plowed into if you start behind me every time. I just told him, like, dirty his face. I hate racing with you. I can't stand it. Do not look forward to racing with you. So, and really, that kind of goes a long way. I'm sure that the guy I said that to thought about it. But it's one of those things, it just comes from like you race together that long, and it's like, okay, enough's enough. Like, I'm sick of this. Like, why do you always have? It's always like, if it was the other way, they'd have been all over Ryan. I'm sure. But
yeah.
Anyway,
I like how. I hope that people see how you and I race together.
Oh yeah,
right.
I know. Like, you and I always have really good races. We never take each other out, and if we do, we always just laugh about it and stop and wait.
Not on purpose. I have once or twice in the past tagged you and went, "Oh shit, sorry, I didn't mean to do that." But
yeah, I know. I don't really get mad about a whole lot at the track anymore.
Yeah,
doesn't solve anything.
No.
And ultimately, like what Ryan said to Ty, could have been done off camera. Yeah, it could have. But it's the heat of the moment kind of thing. But I don't blame him at all. It's just like, maybe that could have waited another 5 minutes, or taken it out on team management.
Or like I said, at least he waited till the end of the race.
Yeah, at least he waited till he didn't shut his radio off or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like I said, this is probably just something Ryan is sick and tired of, honestly. And he's one of the cleanest drivers there is. At Silver State, he bumped into somebody and didn't know if he took him out or not, and he still waited.
He waited for somebody at the at our INS race last year.
Yeah,
I can't remember who it was exactly, but I know he.
Yeah, Ryan's he's a stand-up guy, great racer. He'll always race you the same way he races him. I don't understand why you'd want to screw that guy over. He the least Ty could have done is stopped and waited. I know there's money on the line, but hey, guess what? It would have. I think it would have gone farther if he was like, dude, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
he wasn't apologetic about it or nothing. He could have said I did not mean to do that. I'm so sorry. I can't believe that happened. I should have waited. It could have gone the other way too, because it was his fault. I tell you right now, it's his fault, and I'm sure that there's guys listening to me talk right now.
There's plenty of people saying, "Oh no, it wasn't his fault, Ryan." That I don't know. The video, it's on video. Like when I watched it as it was happening, David and I were sitting there watching. I go, "Oh, look at Ryan just made a sweet pass," and then I was like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" So in my eyes, at that moment, it looked like a pretty sweet pass. It was bumpy. You can see that Ryan's car got huckabuck at one point, but he was still ahead slightly in that corner.
Yeah, no, he was ahead of him completely. Ty ran into the back of his car and ran up over his rear tire. Yeah. That's the way I saw it. he should have lifted and got back in the groove, and they could have had a great race.
Yeah.
Like that's what I always tell people. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, yeah, we could have had a great race until you dumped both of us.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Like I said, I don't get excited about stuff at the track no more. I live vicariously through others that are faster.
Yeah, I see that. I see the whole thing too as a positive. Because it's an angle, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it was just a boring race,
shows how passionate
it would be
they
less of an
are
angle for this television coverage that we're supposed to get. I think it needs. I think in many ways RCGP's YouTube thing, and now you got to pay for it, I guess. But
watch it live.
2 seasons ago, was it 2 years ago? The last time they did RCGP, they would have the race, and then like a couple weeks later, they'd have the like a video thing, almost like a documentary about it or whatever going on, and there was almost, to me, it seemed forced. There was a lot of cuss words and stuff like that, and almost seemed like a forced drama a little bit. This one will be real. I hope the coverage. I hope the coverage covers it. Like, I hope it doesn't get whitewashed and just sort of thrown in, like where they don't even acknowledge it. I hope that doesn't happen either. They have
I think they kind of need to show it. Hey, I wanted to say this too. Obviously, we weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't there. We didn't see what happened on the track. We watched the video. So there's like some guys like, oh, you weren't there. Like, yeah, I know I wasn't there. But this is the way I perceived it. Obviously, Ty's fast. Ty's a really good race car driver. But we've you and I just know how that program operates. And I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but I just trying to get every little last bit, every trick he can.
Yeah.
Is what they do, and whatever. But and I don't have any problems with him personally. But this is just the way I see it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like you kind of have to show it, because this isn't just Radio Shack cars, dude. These are race cars. They're not model cars. They're race cars, and it shows how passionate the drivers are about their finishes and how they do. Yeah. Like this, they're racing for keeps. And that's kind of how it needs to be perceived. Like, this is professional radio control car racing. Like, this isn't toy cars on that level. So.
Yep, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some races coming up. Wicked Weekend, I think, is the next race time event, and then Worlds ain't that far away. That's high tension, high drama.
Yeah.
On a big ass track too. What a big track that Worlds track is.
So with like the whole Ty and Ryan thing, everything was said that was said. Ty said things about Ryan on his interview with Scotty, and it's kind of like, okay, everybody said what they had to say. Let's move on and start over. Hopefully they do that. Hopefully this isn't something where they're taking each other out of the Worlds and like missing potential great racing over something that ultimately now doesn't matter, but because it's over and done with.
Yeah.
So I could see him moving on. I hope they move on.
Do you think everybody up there was like, boy, glad I wasn't part of that?
Yeah. Yeah. And Ryan's not. I don't think he's a bully. I really don't. I think he sticks up for what's right.
He's just opinionated.
Yeah, I've seen him stick up for the little guy a lot. So
he's one of the few drivers in that I've met that just says what he thinks. Doesn't really have much of a filter.
Yeah, who else does that?
So.
I
don't know.
Hey, you got to respect the guy for actually saying it to him instead of, you can bleep this out, but instead of motherfucking him to everybody in the pits or something behind his back.
Right.
There's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there was another race going on, and it was the Roar e-buggy Nats.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that I believe this is probably one of the biggest e-buggy Nats that they've had. So I know the Visions race, I don't think we need to worry about the entry count as much because of what they were trying to do, and they had an invite class, and they filled it, with 15 drivers. But the e-buggy Nats have always struggled. Always.
Yeah.
And they had 146 entries at this one.
That's pretty good. That rivals ours, doesn't it? Or does it beat ours?
No, ours sucked. We had which one? The 2018 one?
The last one we had.
Yeah, I don't think we cracked 100.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm positive we didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely don't think we did.
Hmm.
But so good job on Roar for that. I've always, when I was on XCOM and we were always talking about this race, it was such a weird race because whoever got it, it seemed like it was always going to struggle for entries, I guess. You know? I mean, in 2018, I pretty much volunteered to hold it because it hadn't even been bid on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
But this is pretty good. I always sort of said that maybe the e-buggy Nats should be taken off the level 5 national event list and made a level 4, which they call like a championship, or like what super regionals can be under. Because level 3 is regionals, and then level 4 is like in between. And then like maybe let the track like rent, when you know what I'm saying, like rent any tech equipment or anything, but that would lower the entry fees by a lot and not put so much pressure on Roar to pay for all this stuff like the RMT and everything, and maybe they could get a turnout like this. But maybe we're seeing some sort of turn now where I haven't seen any increase in e-buggy sales at the store. But that being said, the Techno Series last year, e-buggy was always the biggest classes.
Yeah. Right.
So this will just make it so that next year for sure is level 5.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't been on an XCOM in 5 years, but even back then we were thinking, what can we do to change this? Because 70, 80 entries wasn't going to cut it. And then, of course, Dakota wins buggy and short course truck, and Cavallari won truggy, right? And then they had a 15 and under and a 40 plus e-buggy. So that might have helped with the entry count too, right? Because I'm looking at the mains, and they had, where's 40 plus? Because I think they had a B main. Maybe not. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did have a B main in Masters electric buggy. So, because ours, we didn't get the other two classes. We only got buggy, truggy, and short course truck. And they had 1/10 scale truck. They had mini truggy at this one too.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot going on here. Only 9 drivers in that, but I hope Techno won that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny if it finally gets added and like a VT64 or
yeah, a conversion kit.
I'd be so at Techno. I'd be so mad. I'd be like, damn it.
Yeah. No, that truck's hard to beat in that class.
Dude, hands down. Until or if anybody ever comes out with one. Did you see the Kaufman jump? The B main of Truggy.
Oh yeah, I saw. Some guy at work showed it to me today.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know it happened. And I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That was for a B main win.
Yeah.
with no bump ups.
You gotta get everyone you can.
I know, but all that work, all that coolness, and congrats, you won the B main. Go home.
Yeah. Yep. I know. Those races are ones they should bump.
It's 8 scale.
Yeah.
Just do the bump.
Mm-hmm.
Just if you have to, just bump one.
Yeah.
You know?
What the heck?
That'd be my gripe.
Yep.
Make something cool like that happen, and oh, here's your plaque. Good job.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Go away.
See you next year. See you next year for no bumps.
Yeah. No bumps again.
They should be doing bumps. It's just so. Everybody does bumps. I want go just bump it. Just give me a little bump. Just give me a little bump.
Give me a little bump. Was I think the electric truck win for Cavalieri is like his 30th national championship now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And Dakota, dude. Dakota, didn't he won Nitro Buggy, right?
What?
Didn't he win
Where?
both Nitro Buggy and Truggy at this year's Nats? They held the Nats in March.
Oh yeah. No, Ryan won truck. Dakota won buggy.
Dakota won Buggy.
Yeah.
And then Carpet Nats, right?
Yeah.
Didn't Dakota win both? No. Brock won 4-wheel drive, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So Dakota won the carpet, and then Dakota's got these two now, and now the next one's going to be 10 scale Nats next month.
Yeah.
Dakota's got the Losi cars rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be at Hoosier.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think I'm going to be able to go.
That's okay. Like I said, no pressure.
My wife has a camping trip planned that weekend already.
See. But dude, so did you get my email about my text about the points?
Yeah, I'm leading points by a fair amount now.
See, you don't have to go.
I know. I wanted to go.
I
wanted to go though.
I know you wanted to go, but I have to go. You don't have to go.
I would like to have it where the finals don't matter and I can just hang out. But
yeah.
Now it puts pressure on the finals.
No, that's true. I saw Dominic was signed up.
Is he?
For Hoosier.
For Hoosier?
So, yep.
He'll probably win.
But even if he gets a TQ and win, a TQ and a win in a second, so he would be tied with you. But you would have more wins at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's going to be tough.
Come down to the last one.
Hobby action is going to be tough.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, I'm all signed up. And Emerson signed up, and I'm going to try to find somebody to room with me.
What, at Hobby Action?
So there's 3 of us.
At Hobby Action?
No, at Hoosier.
Oh, Hoosier?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it. I was really wanting to go to that one.
Yeah, I know.
I'm be sitting there camping.
Wondering what's going on. You'd be on your phone.
Yeah.
Hey, we practiced with Slicks all day on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And I snuck in behind Vanderbeek, Alex, on one of our practice sessions.
Yeah.
And tried to hang with him, and I got down to his close to his lap times, like within a tenth.
Yeah.
Just because
Nice.
I was trying to figure out where I was losing time the whole time, and honestly, it was in the oval.
Yeah.
It wasn't anywhere else. It was in the oval.
Yeah. Get that high speed is like tricky. You get it through there fast.
So, anyways, I just wanted to bring up the e-buggy Nats because of the bump thing. I'm still bitter.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
I am too.
Doesn't make any sense to me. But the race looked good. The track looked awesome. Guys were complaining about the sugar thing. I guess they sugared it, but it ended up raining like Saturday and Sunday, so the track actually looked like a regular outdoor track to me. I don't know.
I don't know. Everybody's racing on the same track.
That's true.
I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to it either.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's some comments. We'll go through them real fast. I think this will be kind of short because that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today, since we didn't do really any real racing this weekend other than Friday.
Yeah.
Friday was pretty short.
Yeah.
Should I do some sort of food challenge this Saturday? Like if we get a certain number of entries, we'll have like free pizza or something.
Maybe.
It's gonna be like it's supposed to be like 100 degrees on Saturday.
I don't know. I thought about not racing, but because we're going to Estes Park next week, and I'll just show up on Saturday morning for the summer series. So I might race on Saturday.
Yeah, I want to make Emerson a set of silver slicks for his 2-wheel. For his stock buggy. See if I can get him faster, or if he can get himself faster. He built his mini truck, or not his mini truck. He built his nitro truggy all by himself.
Nice.
But then I walked into his room, and I saw the little bag of clutch parts. So he hadn't actually put his clutch together yet.
Ooh.
So sort of, but not really.
No, don't come in.
I always knock. I knock first all the time. Peter Renault was on here. Nuthouse was here. Jackson Anderson is on here from Texas. Steve RC, Mark Schmidt. Steve RC really liked the practice day. He also thought Tuesday was fun. He was there for a little bit of it. Jackson says, Alex, I don't say things when people are tooting my horn for me, but Jackson moved to Texas, so he says, Alex, I just want to say after this past weekend, you are the best. You're 1 million times better at running races. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard about what happened to Jackson down there. I'll tell you later.
See, I mean, I do my best. That was the one weird thing about the whole INS race was people were coming up to me and they were saying, hey, are you going to change the way that you're doing your track prep? And I would be like, no, I announce what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And they're like, well, I heard that you change it all the time.
What?
And I'm like, what? Who told you that? And when was the last time they raced here? I was trying to go back and think when I actually made like a change to how I would work, because we've been doing the same summer series thing for a while. We blow it off in between rounds, and then halfway through the mains, once we get past the lower mains and Plex Spec, after the Plex Spec A main, I blow it off again. And that's it. And I've been doing that for like 5 years now, the exact same way. And last year's INS race, we didn't change, right? We blew it off. We blew it off every 2 hours like we always do. It just got super ridiculously cold outside, so the track, that one corner got really slick, but it wasn't because I changed how I ran the track.
Yeah.
The only thing that I could think of was the 2016 Nats. I was basically done for the day at like 10 a.m. Like the C or whatever main I was in was over. And so basically from that point on, I blew the track off for every triple main. Whereas before we weren't doing that. But it was main day.
Yeah.
Right? You don't change how you're doing things during qualifying because that wouldn't be fair. But because the mains were up, I just went ahead and blew the track off anyways because I was there. But that was the only time that I can think of where I've changed something, how I did stuff. Am I wrong?
I can't. The only time I can think of was at a club race when you and another guy were able to run slicks and you're buying purpose-built slicks. And the track was drying out to where treads were working, and me and another guy had treads. We were going to grind our tires off, and you went out and watered the track so the slicks still worked. So your tires still worked. That was the only time I've ever seen.
That was a club race, though, and that was,
I know.
And that was
I'm just saying that was a club race.
And that was when Primes like had just come out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sponsored by J Concepts. I could run whatever I wanted to, and I wanted to see if they would work. That's all.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was the only time I can think of, and that was 2014 maybe at a club race. Other than that, everything is very consistent.
So I was just like, no, I'm going to do the same. They're like, are you going to water tonight or not? I'm like, totally watering like I always do.
And there's guys that are saying you weren't watering. I was like, you watered.
Yeah, I watered every night.
Yeah, I was like, you watered the whole damn track. What do you want? So, no, whatever.
That's what I think of that.
Yeah, me too.
Anyways, okay. Spider RC9 was on here saying Jackson Anderson says Windows 11 is out. Now I know Windows 11 is out, but you don't have to have Windows 11 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson knows who backed over the hydrant.
Yeah, he does.
Jason Haley. I can do that. Hang on. You remember that one time when that one guy did that one thing? That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really bad Farley.
Chris Farley, yeah.
Very bad Farley.
You remember that time you did that thing and you said that other thing? That was awesome.
Yeah. Honestly, that was kind of like the Between Two Ferns before the Between Two Ferns bit came out.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Fasty's on here. John Haas was here. Tom Baker found out what was causing me to lose right front hinge pins on the 22X4. The B block was loose. Had a bad weekend. That was fun. Awesome track. I agree. Was the dog named Alf? Oh, the dog that ate cats. I get it.
That's funny.
It's funny. There's a show that probably could never come on the air again.
Yeah.
Nuthouse is on here. He's like, the very first NASCAR race to ever be shown on TV was broadcast by CBS in February of 1960, but I think it was the Daytona 500 that had never been broadcast before. I think that was it.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. If if Reagan was there, it would have had to have been in the 80s.
Yeah, February 18th, 1979, so I was 1 year old. And sports pundits consider that this must be from Wikipedia. The 1979 Daytona to be the most important stock car race in history. Daytona Beach. It was televised live from beginning to end. And Ronald Reagan was there, I think, to do the gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah. Gentlemen, start your engines.
And
also, the war on drugs is worth it.
Just say no while we give guns and drugs to South America.
Yeah.
Have them kill each other.
In inner cities.
Yeah, in inner cities too.
Mm-hmm.
Bender's on here. He says, excited to come back racing. Miss it a lot. Mark says, hopefully not, but you think any repercussions come to Ryan? No.
No.
None at all.
It wasn't a sanctioned race event.
Right. It wasn't sanctioned.
A sanctioning body.
Mugen knows who they have.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, no.
No. That's the worst thing it could do. Get rid of the guy that's winning all these races for him.
Yeah.
Do something with him. That's the worst thing they could do. Why would they do that?
Jackson says people also forget that things get heated because it's their living. Yeah, I mean I think that has some to do with it, but I also think that they're just competitors too.
Yeah,
at the highest level of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're a whole step above. So, talk about the cone marshal and Truggy. Oh, did you see that? I think David made a GIF out of that.
David sent me the video of it, and I honestly didn't know what I was looking at. So I was just like,
no, there's a car upside down on the straightaway in this Truggy main, and a marshal goes, and instead of getting the car, he gets the cone and puts the cone back to where the cone goes. Like the cone had gotten hit by this car.
Yeah.
But instead of getting the car and letting him go and then doing the cone thing, he got the cone first. So the dude was there extra long during an A main number 3 at a Roar Nats.
Oh.
And then I think he just straight drove off the track from the video I saw. I don't even know who it was. I just saw the GIF. There was no sound or anything either.
David sent me that GIF.
Yeah, he sent it to me too. That's pretty funny. I looked at that and it was like, that's about right.
Yeah.
I tried to watch the replay of that race of the Roar Nats last night because I'm building my Phoenix crawler finally. And, dude, I couldn't watch it because the sound was so bad. There was like this buzzing sound and it wouldn't go away. So it was giving me a headache. I couldn't watch it. I tried. I couldn't watch it. I'll just I'll leave that alone. I'm not gonna bring that up. Ben Humphrey, did you see the Ty and Ryan beef? Yeah, we did. We were talking about it. We were talking about it earlier. Fasty thinks he should get a mini truggy for the winter time. I agree. I think we're gonna get a new one too. Pretty sure. They're just talking. Have the Canes race again. Yeah, Canes is kind of expensive for that. It's like $150 to feed everybody. Texas.
$250 if I come.
Yeah. and then people can only get like one or two.
Yeah.
It's not even. I mean,
it's more of a free snack.
That's about it.
Drivers only.
Oh, it was
for
Fend?
food.
David just said that it was Fend upside down. It must have been the end of the race.
Was it really?
Or maybe it wasn't. Well, now I'll have to go back and find that and watch it on the replay, on the Roar replay.
Oh my god.
That's nuts. That makes it even worse. Like, why wouldn't you grab Dakota's car if he's, or truck or whatever? Vehicle. All right, we're almost done. I wanted to make an announcement real quick. So I was
pregnant?
Yeah, I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
Don't you know men can be pregnant now? Well, of course I'm pregnant. No, I'm not. That would be a strange one. Okay. Our last race on the dirt will be October 1st. The syndicate will start October 8th. So we're just going to jump right into it again, just like we did last year. Okay? Yeah. The Enduro, the 1,000 lap Hobbyplex Off-Road Enduro will be October 9th. Our first Techno Series race is going to be November 5th. Okay? And there's 24 people watching now, so if you're into the Techno Series, tell your friends. There won't be any gas truck, but there will be e-truggy. So we're going to have Sportsman and Expert, Nitro and Electric Buggy, Truggy, because I still don't see a reason to split that one up, e-truggy, and mini truggy. Okay? There's going to be a 200 entry limit. It'll be signed up on a line. We're going to use RC Sign Up. And to help with that, you won't be allowed to run Sportsman and Expert anymore. You have to pick one.
Yeah.
So I'd say 60 or so out of the 240 entries that we would get last year were guys running both Expert and Sportsman e-buggy. Yeah. So if we make that not a thing now, you're just going to have to pick up a second car. Then that should help with that. Mm-hmm. So if we stay below 200, that's a much more reasonable Saturday, in my opinion. So a lot less stress on me, a lot less stress on everybody else. So Kevin Blowers just put what classes for the Techno Series. Like, I literally just said it.
It probably just came through late.
It's like when you put a flyer up and it has all the information right there, and then I get a private message. Hey man, what time do the doors open? And like, it says it right on the flyer. It's right there.
What time does practice start?
Yeah, what time does practice start? So anyways, so there you go. So once again, Sportsman and Expert, Nitro and Electric Buggy, Nitro Truggy, e-truggy, mini truggy. All right. So that's this year's Techno Series. I'll have a flyer soon, but that's basically what the rundown is. I've been thinking about it for a while, and pretty much once the INS race was over, I was like, all right, I got to start thinking about winter time, and it sucks because I hate winter more than just about anything.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I'm gonna do the winter series or not.
I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
Are you gonna race?
If I will, it'll be mini truggy. But Emerson's running truck. He wants to run his nitro truggy because him and Logan talk crap all the time at the store. They're both going to run nitro truggy. So I need to find him a pit guy, basically.
If I do, I might race nitro buggy. I don't know. Yeah. Thinking about it.
And if I do it, I'll probably race mini truggy again, but probably not. Yeah. I think this year I'm just going to sit one out and just run the races, make sure everything goes good.
You know? I want to race nitro really bad, but it's like
so much work.
Yeah, and you know what how I do it. You know, it's like all the way.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, maybe electric 8 scale. I don't know.
The rest of the dates for the Techno series I'll have out soon, but definitely November 5th. So that Saturday.
Let's see.
And definitely December. I think December 11th. I think, because the first Saturday of December will be in Arizona, so it'll be the following Saturday.
Nice.
So. Okay, I think that's it. There's 24 watching right now, so I hope that's breaking news for you guys to help spread the word. And got some carpet dates. There's going to be 10 rounds again to the syndicate. It's just, if anybody wants to complain about that, listen, it's club racing with a cool name. That's the way I always think about it. You don't have to come to all of them. It'll be 7 out of 10. Mm-hmm. You know, that'll take us to mid-January, where there's 3 open dates again. So that'll be our triple scoop. I like doing that. It's kind of fun. Something different. And then the carpet crash-in, I believe, is the 24th and 25th of February. Whatever the last Saturday is of February, that's when the carpet crash-in always is. So be ready for that. And then we'll go back to dirt in March, just like we did last year. I think last year's schedule worked out really, really well for us.
Yeah.
Other tracks were able to kind of do their point series later, so it seemed to kind of work out.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, if I do, I want to race something this winter. I don't know what I want to do yet. Because if I do carpet, I'll do carpet. Then I can go to the INS race. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Carpet's going to take a lot of work because a lot of our jumps are really beat up. I got to rebuild a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But I'll have a new car for that too. I'll have a carpet car, an associated carpet car.
Yeah.
So, we haven't taken our pivot break. How about, hey Richard, you there? You listening in?
Yeah, man.
Did you want me to just end the show on a pivot break?
Yeah, just end on a pivot. Oh, yeah, just do like you normally do at the end of the show.
Okay. All right, we'll just do that.
Yeah, and then just add the pivot break in later.
Well, no, he'll go to it, and then that'll be the show. So this will be the end.
All right.
This is it. I got to ride home. And dude, traffic today was super scary to ride my scooter here.
Yeah.
Like, people driving stupid and not paying attention. And then, to add to that, some of the Omaha roads are so bad that it's like scary.
There's people that complain about riding in Lincoln.
Dude.
It's like, Omaha is way worse.
Dude, I took a Northwest Radial Highway here, and there's a bump. Not a bump, I'm sorry. There's a chunk missing out of the road, and when I'm driving my truck, and I'm like, oh, shit, I got to remember that that's there when I ride my scooter. And I forgot today. So I saw it, and I was like, oh, no! And so I, braced, and my scooter just skipped right over it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. So, Steve RC, one last thing here. Did you say the Enduro October 9th? Yes. Our Enduro is usually on a Sunday, so we don't miss any Saturday racing. So, and my 25-year high school reunion is October 8th, so we wouldn't do it that day anyway, so it's going to be on that Sunday. Doors will open at 8. I think we start racing at 9. We're usually done by 6 or 7. 1,000 laps. Got my car all ready to go. Already. I need to do a video on that. I've been kind of slacking on YouTube lately, so if you're a YouTube subscriber, I'm sorry. I don't know. Kind of like the dog days of summer right now.
Yeah.
So.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. we'll send you guys off with a pivot break. Will, it was fun. I'm glad these shows are kind of fun. We don't really have much to talk about other than stuff going down that we see.
Yeah,
in the whole thing. So
definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. All right. Well, I gotta lead us out the right way. This show is brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. Make sure that you get a hold of them for a home loan or refinance. Mention our show. Get $500 lender credit or 0.125 off your interest rate, and get those in there before your interest rates all of a sudden shoot up to like 7 or 8%, maybe higher.
Mm-hmm.
So, bye-bye.